This is how we do our fucking intro now. Oh god. Where are the pants and the things? Is everything running? Got all that stuff. Oh god. Oh god. Hello. Hello everybody. So we're letting this song go through. This is how we start the stream now. I just sing while I wait for people to turn up me. Don't I have a Starfire as well? Is that it's larger than size 4? That does make sense if it's pretty large. Where does that go? No. No. Where did the Starfire go? If I change my ship, we'll have a look at this in a minute actually. Because, there we go. Bam. Yeah, you caused my computer to lag. It's not morning! I know, CIG should bring me in to have a bit of a sing-song, shouldn't I? I'd be like, hey, I'm the best at singing. This is the Revel in York hangar. It is used to be called the business hangar. It is the only hangar, I believe, at the moment that can take the Starfarer. Can take it! It's a bit dirty. I just seen that you sing like an angel comment. I do. Thank you. Every time I look at that comment now, it makes me happy. Yeah, so my buyer's remorse has left me. I'll talk about my purchase of the 890 Jump and the fact it doesn't have lifetime insurance and my original buyer's remorse in a minute, actually. Because today I wanted to look through lots of random stuff, so I want to look at the grand finale sale bits and bobs. Because there's a few hours left. Actually, they might extend it, who knows, until Monday at some point, to buy ships from all of the ships that are available during the anniversary sale. There are occasionally, it looks like Javelins going on sale. I think it's from people that started to purchase them and then didn't, and they go back into the system. But I also want to do a recap. I'm not Noobified, by the way. Oh, I've got quite big man boobs at the moment. Thanks, Noobified, for this t-shirt, by the way. You can advertise your stream while I'm streaming. You don't even stream. I mean, it'd be hard to advertise it at YouTube. Check out Noobified's YouTube channel if you want to, or don't. I mean, it's up to you, isn't it? So yeah, I want to recap RTV and ATV. Not so much RTV, because not much was really discussed that wasn't in ATV already, or stuff that we don't really know. We'll look at the Tavaran heads. We'll look at all that sort of jazz. There's probably more ship stuff. And I want to look at my hangar for my main account as well. I say hangar, I literally mean on the website hangar. And this is also my hangar. Bit of a Starfarer here. You also got an 890 Jump. See, my major issue with the 890 Jump. Let's talk about that now, actually. Let's go talk about that now. Yeah, so, I mean, you have to have a large disposable income to buy ships like this, really, without suffering from massive remorse. And also, yeah, I mean, if you don't have the disposable income to support the game, then don't. Just buy a 45 game package if you can afford that and get everything in-game, or use a mate's ship or whatever. Even I'm using literal Star Citizen ships for content, am going to be using some of my friends' accounts. My mate Zen's got a Carrack, the Genesis, and another ship that that I want. My friend's got a Javelin. A couple of mates have got Idrises and stuff like that. I don't necessarily need to have them on my own account, because that would be crazy trying to get all the ships. You'd have to have a lot of disposable income for that. And I recommend that anyone just does the minimum financially to get into the game. And then, obviously, if you want more, if you're in love with the project or whatever, then consider it. But ThriftBot says, no purchasey, unless I can justify it as an expense for content. At least that's how I justify it to myself. Make my internal ThriftBot happier. So, let us switch to my hangar. Does this work? This fucking works, mate. Bam! So this is my hangar. Isn't it beautiful? On the website. So, I just want to talk about what I have. On my other account, I've got a Sabre and a Buccaneer. And an Aurora probably. It might be a Dragonfly. It's an Aurora or a Dragonfly. Actually, I'll probably convert it to an 85X, seeing that they got jump drives. Is the sound levels alright for everyone? Is that all good? Hope I'm not too loud. Hope the background music not too loud. Tell me. You've currently got 25 ships. That's too many ships. You blend directly into your chair. Yes. I like to think that I could just like turn my head. No, I can't fold my head into my own body like a turtle. You don't know unless you try, though, do you? So, I want to talk about what ships I bought, what I've got. So that's my other account. This account, my main account, I got an 890 jump, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. This P72 is actually going to turn into an upgrade from a Buccaneer on this account to a Prospector. So that's $30. I'll do that in a minute, do that after the stream. I've got a Bounty Merchantman, which is with the lifetime insurance, which was upgraded from the Origin 85X. Got a Herald. I've got a Starfarer to Carrack upgrade, which I haven't applied yet. But I will be changing my Starfarer into a Carrack. I also have the RSI Orion. It's the ship I wanted the most, and I love it. Got myself a Caterpillar, and a couple of Yellow Jackets with that as well. I've got the Starfarer, which will be becoming the Carrack, as I said. And that Carrack's changing as well. That Carrack will be changing into a Reclaimer as well. I've got the $0 upgrade for that. So I'll be having a Reclaimer on my account, not a Carrack. My mate Zen's got a Carrack. I'm going to be using his for content. We've got an Aurora here, which I was considering changing into a different ship. Possibly the 85X. We've got a Drake Buccaneer. Now, this Buccaneer is going to be becoming a Prospector. I also have an Endeavour as well. It's not showing here for some reason. Oh, this old one is bugged and doesn't show all the ships for some reason on people's accounts. Oh, still not showing it. Is it because I've got a weird tab? There we go. There we go. And we've got the Endeavour Master set as well, because science! And I do quite like the Endeavour. But, so, yeah, the Reclaimer is sexy, and it's going to be very, very treasure huntery. I will be doing ship giveaways in the future, so there are some bits and bobs. So run around the Starfarer where I talk to you guys about stuff. So I'm going to be doing lots, not huge amounts of giveaways, but I'm going to be doing at least a couple of months. I don't really know. I'm going to be doing a reasonable amount of giveaways. I'm hoping to get partnered on Twitch soon, so that's going to affect a lot of stuff I do. I need to work on my stream a lot more. I want to get. I don't want it to be like super professional, but I want a lot of stuff set up. I'm considering getting a channel currency. If you guys like the idea of little games to play and a channel currency on the stream, I'm thinking of moving entirely over to Twitch so that I can get everyone in the giveaways that joins, but also have more giveaways, have a bit more focused on that. Tell me what you think. So my channel is directly influenced by you guys. Buy me a character. No. Buy lots of farming modules and go around the verse selling cucumbers. I can do that anyway. I can sell my own cucumber for vast quantities of money. I want the Endeavour Zococking module. Yeah, I mean, he's lost his noodle, mate. I mean, it's not going to become any form of super professional. Look at all these little. I think this is where like EVA like suits are going to be. This one. Just fucking open this. Get your suit on. Obviously you get your suit on, then open that. Open the Stargate, mate. Actually, this isn't so much of a Stargate as it is in the You know, that one, the Cutlass Bob. I do like the Staff Arrow. I'm not going to have one after I upgrade it into effectively a Reclaimer. I do like the Reclaimer more, so... I do reach at Solar Fire, see? Boom! BAM! What's some of that? Fucking punch to your gut, mate. Oh, so I'm running, I think it's one of Zenthor's page mods, or someone's... there's a Chrome mod, which I did a video on a while ago, that gives you more details on all your purchases. Though it's that one, I haven't updated in ages, and that one's a bit broken. It won't affect my YouTube videos. So even if I'm streaming more, I'll still be producing the same amount of video content on, and I won't be flooding my YouTube channels with streams. It will be... I need to move into a slightly more focused schedule for my videos and for the stream, so that people have a little bit more of an idea what's going to appear on certain days. A couple of days will be like more wild card with exactly what content, but obviously I want the news every Saturday. I want probably gameplay content every Monday. I want some sort of tutorial on Tuesday, stuff like that. So it's a bit more planned. And same with the streams. I want the streams to have a more quality to them. So I want to make sure I've got the right gear, but I also want to make sure that just like if there's any form of overlay, that's done correctly. If I'm going to have bits on the channel, that's all sorted out there. That people can request songs, that sort of stuff. But tell me what you want. Doing these, tell me what you want, and it will be considered. Yeah. So the War Bond sales. I'm talking to all the viewers in general. So I'm streaming on multiple things at the moment. So. If you can't see who I'm replying to in the chats, because they're on a different medium. They're on YouTube, or they're on Beam, or they're on Twitch. Yeah, War Bond is cash only, so you can't use store credit to purchase War Bonds to base sales. Hey Board, would you recommend Year of build? I'm confused. I'm confused by Year of question. I'm still debating Crucible or Orion. Both mechanics seem nice, but I already have a Prospector. If you have dreams of becoming a space repairman, go for the Crucible. If you want to be a strip miner, go for the Orion. Prospector kind of has a little bit of a different role for the mining, where it's going to be sniffing out more precisely on asteroids or pockets. It will be able to get into areas that the Orion can't. It's going to be able to land on planets as well to do mining. So it's a little bit of a different miner. What's with the lights? What's wrong with the lights? What lights? You talking about the lights in game? Hi chat, hi Board. Oh no, I was channeling you, Brimstone, briefly. Do you know when the Constellation variants will be released? No, I do not. I'm assuming that we'll get the Aquila with 3.0. And possibly the other variants as well at the same time. You can always go check that schedule report page. Let's do that quickly now. Where is... Why haven't I got the schedule? Oh, fuck. Such a noob. I'm such a noob sometimes. I can't breathe. So, if you go to the schedule report page, here you can check the current internal release dates for basically the next patch, but it also contains other useful information. So this was just updated on Friday. I believe it's going to be updated Friday every week. We can see the internal release schedule here. The Evocati build of 2.6 should be between these dates, the 28th and the 30th. So hopefully within the next 3 days. Then they're going to go on to a wider PTU planned by the 7th of December, and they aim to release a full live 2.6 build with Star Marine. All that sort of jazz by the 8th of December. I just smashed my my spacebar. You can see a breakdown of everything as well, and from week to week this will change, and they tell you about the ETAs of everything, and literally as that changes, any blockers, any progress, and that sort of stuff. There was something I wanted to talk about here, because the mega map might not be finished for 2.6 now, so the mega map here. So this is a way of being able to not continuously load into different modes. So when you move from your hangar to Arena Command, to the PU. They don't want you to have to keep on backing out and going in and having to keep on loading loads and loads and loads as you move between loads of different title screens. They want you to be able to just jump between them much more quickly, and that's what the mega map will do. But it's taking a lot longer than expected. Obviously, it's quite a big thing. And the other thing was at the bottom of here we can see. The patch after 2.6, which is 3.0, and we can see all of the details of what's actually going to be in that. And you can see that in 3.0, in fact, the Constellation Aquila is confirmed to be in it. There are other ships that will be coming out, variants and that sort of stuff that are not mentioned here, but they will be going into patches as and when they're ready. It was not a comprehensive list, but we can see that with 3.1, it's mining and refining. That's when you're going to be able to use your prospector. Unfortunately, it shows a picture of the Orion, but I don't believe the Orion is coming until later. And then we 3.2. We are getting repair and salvage, and these are just big gameplay mechanics they're going to be putting in every time. The list of ships, this is their planned dates to be put in. A lot of them I suspect will be put in earlier, because why not? They'll get finished when they're finished, and those pipelines are pretty efficient now. The Caterpillar is now in 2.6 though, yes, it is coming for 2.6, and so is the 85X. 3.3, this is going to be a massive patch for a lot of people because it comes, obviously, with farming and rescue, which is cool, but the Carrack, the 890 jump, the Banner Merchantman, yeah, I mean, these are major ships. I'm looking forward to all of those so much. And then 4.0, and I do suspect that towards the middle of the 4-point ranges, so 4.3 or something, we'll start to be considering a Star Citizen beta, in my opinion. And we can see here for 4.0 is the Orion and that Crucible. These are the ships that are going to take the longest for some reason. We'll have to wait and see though. Now, I got the 85X and yeah, used it to get LTI, and that's very, very smart. If people want to do that, so let's go to the expo. Everyone check out the production schedule, by the way. Check it out weekly. Obviously, I'll be summarising in my news and be looking at it once a month at major changes, in a similar way to the monthly report. But I do think that's a really important page, and one of the best things that has come from this entire open development process. So at the moment, it's the grand finale for the the sale. So if you want to buy a ship, buy one. They were doing $30. You can see it in pounds. Let me change it to dollars. And you can at least see it in the. Okay, you can see it in pounds. These were $30, but they all sold out. Just some simple starter packs, and then you can grab all of these different cool ships. Everything that was on sale during the anniversary. Anything that says anniversary 2016 buy it has 4 years insurance, which is a stupid amount of game time. Some of you will probably never ever run out of insurance on those, even if you're quite avid players. But there are some pretty cool ships. I don't like these variants, in my opinion. So they're basically based, as far as I'm aware, entirely on the original hulls. They're just a different skin and a different weapons loadout that isn't necessarily worth more money. If you are in love with them, and if you're in love with the project and you love the skin, then maybe consider it. They're not huge amounts more than the originals, but they are between like $10 and $20 more. And so just keep that in mind. I do like the Dragonfly. $30 is no Squadron 42. Yeah, another $15 gets you Squadron 42. I'm going to get an Aquila and then go for the Carrack, but we'll have to melt a ship. What ship are you going to have to melt, Flying Wolf Gaming? I'm annoyed by the War Bond sales. I want to be able to use my store credit. That's me personally. I understand why they do it, and it's marketing, and I'm not going to get piss and moan, because I'm not going to say, well, I've got a better way you can make money. No, because I don't. It makes sense for them to do it. It's good marketing. It just annoys me because I want to have the most efficient thing going on. And we'll talk about the 890 jump actually in a minute, because that is a thing. So all the modules are on sale for the Endeavour as well now, which wasn't earlier. So people that want more science, I've got the master set. Yeah, bigger science, and it's important for content, in my opinion. So all the Anvil ships. So, there's 155 left of these A90 jumps. So we got that sale on. We'll have a look at the cool little video from that sale in a second, the Expo finale one. This A90 jump, I love. I think it is the most beautiful ship in Star Citizen. It's just fucking amazing. That ship just looks beautiful in every way, shape, and form. This music is helping make it that more intense. But the price tag of $890 doesn't look so good in pounds. Is insane. And I had to melt my Polaris and rearrange my hangar, basically. And got rid of all my store credit, which wiped me out. I wanted it to be $600. I wanted to have lifetime insurance. I had buyer's remorse because it didn't have lifetime insurance, even though that 48 months insurance is almost going to be impossible for me to use entirely, I think. Because I think it's actually in-game time, in a similar way to the way that rec tokens are used. So we'll have to wait and see. But I just want it with a lifetime insurance. And I was annoyed that I couldn't upgrade to an 890 jump with a lifetime insurance token, like an 85X. It does come with an 85X or two. The carrot does look cool, yes. Do you have a Phoenix 2, BG? No, I do not have a Phoenix. I've got a friend with a Phoenix, and in fact, it's my friend's brother has a Phoenix. It doesn't look like a nail clipper to me. I thought it would be, I wouldn't have been able to unsee it again. It just annoys me that, like, Noobifier got his for $600, and I waited because I wanted to rearrange my hangar, and I just feel like an idiot because it went up so much. It went up to $290 more, and it doesn't have lifetime insurance now. So I'm just like, meh. And that's why I had buyer's remorse. But I love the ship. It's for content. It's going to be beautiful. I'm going to film any of my like generic Star Citizen content will almost be filmed on that party boat because it's going to be fantastic. Yeah, it was just an insane price hike, and I was disappointed because of that price hike. So let's finish this music. Oh, that seems to be still going. And let's watch this Galactic Tour video. So this is the... Oh, no, that's not... That's something else. Something a fan sent me. There's obviously a parody of the Grand Tour.
Well, there you have it. It's been an absolutely fantastic week, with this year's Expo going down as arguably the best one this year. Throughout it all, Galactic Tour has been there to give you the lowdown you longed for and bang up a few innocent ships along the way. From lumbering hulks to svelte sloops, today's ship enthusiast has no shortage of options. Sure, half of them may have their own unique quirks and peccadillos. Yes, I'm the captain. No, I don't want to use the toilet with the door open. But the point is that the choice is there. And choice is a wonderful thing. The chances of you finding a ship you love are greater than ever. And with what the manufacturers have been showing off these past few days, it seems it's only going to get better. Like a Banu slave, I only have hope for the future. Of course, that doesn't mean that there aren't still plenty of festering piles flying out there that you're going to want to avoid stepping in. But that's what Galactic Tour is for, isn't it? I'm Jax McCleary, and thanks again for joining me this week at the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. Remember, life's too short not to be going as fast as you can. See you next time.
I don't think there's enough people to make that sound of clapping and cheering. But yeah, that was basically the grand finale one. I did like all the little videos they did of this. I think they only got it done in like the last couple of weeks, which is pretty impressive. It's going to be cool because that kind of shows me that their mission system with some of the models that they can do with that, they can actually have quite in-depth, lots of different little missions. So I also got sent this by this gentleman here, who wanted me to get it out there, and I quite liked it. He did a quick edit and music video of Galactic Tour. He wanted to make it more parodied, even more so to the Grand Tour and to Top Gear. So I'll have a look at that in a second. I'm not worried about the 890 anymore. I mean, I love it so much. I do love it, genuinely. I think it's beautiful. I'm excited. Melted 7 steps towards it. I still had to kick in $200. Oh, Luciana. Oh, It's just so expensive sometimes. It feels like we need to get some of these ships as well for content, and because I'm in love with them. There's lots of messages. CIG uses cardboard cutouts of backers. I see. I wish they would hurry up on the 300 series. I'm looking forward to the 600 series as well, or the Origins 600, whatever that's going to look like. I think that's going to be more of a constellation-sized elite luxury craft. So something to compete with the Phoenix. Ben also said recently that the Hornet, Super Hornet's going to be increasing in price. I think he actually said. That's Ben's Thanksgiving. So the Super Hornet. Lots of people yelling in my Discord about the wildfire price. Can you explain the big jump for us, please? It's close to the Super Hornet, which is getting a similar boost. So the Super Hornet should be going up in price soon. So just keep that in mind. Price boosters. The Banner Merchantman, pretty much all the ships that we've seen will be hitting price increases as they become more available, when they become closer to launch, when they actually launch. So yeah, Banner Merchantman's really cheap at the moment. Even the Polaris was cheap at the moment. That will be going up loads. These ships are going to be going up in price. So just bear that in mind. Otherwise you'll have a situation like mine, where I waited to buy the 890 jump, and then I had to spend $290 more, but I was so in love with it, I didn't force myself. I did force myself. I forced my thrift bot out. I was like, no! Shut up! I do put a little bit of money aside every month to buy Star Citizen ships, and to buy like equipment for my PC and stuff. Let's have a look at this gentleman's fan trailer that he did, which is pretty cool. Let me link it as well. I think the Banu Merchantman might go up to like 350, maybe. I don't know.
If I had a cred for every time I've said, whoa, you see that? I would be slightly more wealthy than I already am. Welcome back to the Expo. I'm Jax McCleary, and
I love the Merchantman. I think it's an amazing ship. I like the idea it's a little business.
We're going to be here all week long, so strap in and hold on. Trust me, you're going to want to see this. This, my friends, is going to be good.
You only spent $15. You have a lot more self-control than I do. The Sabre won't become less expensive. You both have to buy it in-game. You both have to get all this stuff in-game. Yeah. Banner Merchantman, $350, if not $400 in the future, I think, as well. It's a huge ship. It's huge. It's a floating business. And it's going to require a lot of work. So, the only real information that we have on the Banu Merchantman is the original concept, and we know that it's being in its second phase concept at the moment. So they're like reconcepting it-ish. I really actually quite liked that little trailer that guy did, the little edit. I thought it was pretty cool. Check that out. Get the word out for him if you enjoyed it. I want to look at Roundiverse in a minute. What else have we got here? We've got all that. We've done that. We've looked at the production schedule, which is pretty cool. I do really want to hammer into people's heads that looking at this production schedule is awesome, because it tells you the internal dates of CIGs. This is all their internal information that they send out, and this is great because we can see when they've got stuff targeted, and if they miss that, if they've got blockers, they tell us. We didn't hit our target date because, and you can see if they're likely to hit their target dates, or if some features are getting phased out until the next patch and stuff like that. So I love this. I love the breakdown. It talks about like Pirate Swarm, and I'm really looking forward to the Pirate Swarm game mode as well. My mate Zen's got a Kirk and a Genesis. I think he only grabbed his Genesis in this recent sale. So that was my hanger. So another page to look at regularly is the ship upgrades page. So this will tell you, if you uncheck my ships, the current value, effective value of ships. So even if you had a 890 jump that you'd bought for $600, it's worth $890 if you are upgrading it. So you can upgrade it to anything that's equal to or above that price. At the moment, there aren't any ships available that are on sale, and you can only upgrade to a ship that is currently available to buy. So if I do that with Endeavour, then I can upgrade it to... Apparently I can upgrade it to the Endeavour, which would be weird. I can upgrade it to the Crucible, the Hull D, the Genesis, the Prowler, or the Hull E. Nice and simple, or probably a Carrack as well. Claim a Carrack, all that sort of jazz. But it's nice to look here occasionally, just so you can see all the ship's prices. And if a sale is coming out and you want to see if any ship prices have changed, you can quickly check that. And normally that's updated before the sales go live. So, hello everyone. What do you think of my ship list? Oh, what a ship list is this, Precious? Am I excited for Monday? Why am I excited for Monday? What, because we think we're getting a Ivakati patch or something? Is that why? Only spent $75. Good man. I like people not spending money in sales. I think it's funny, people that spend money. I like to look on the fact that I spent $890 on an 8-night jump as like, well, that was expensive. Saving your money is the best thing. Get everything in game. Get everything in game. Apparently the tax has gone down to 19%. All my prices went weird. And the website is saying 19%. How odd. I bought if I exchange for store credit package. That is not available anymore. So you might not be able to buy pro mode packages or certain packages back with the buyback tool. So the buyback tool, I think it's in my hangar. Let's show this how this works. So you can go to my hangar, buy back pledges, and here you can purchase back anything that you previously had bought, as long as it is not a promo pack. So I don't think those cheap Auroras with the game for $30, I don't think you could be able to buy one of those back. But you'd be able to buy this Polaris back. That said, if it goes up in price, then I believe these buyback pledges also go up in price. And you can only buy the original base ship. So if you upgraded a ship to another ship, you actually, when you buy back, you are buying back the lowest level that you started with. You're not buying... if I upgraded an Aurora to a Buccaneer, I'd actually only be able to buy back the Aurora, effectively. So just keep that in mind. What else? Oh, so we got the Asperia Prowler. Questions and answers. Did anyone get a Prowler? I wasn't too impressed with the Prowler. I am impressed with the new Cutlass Black, though. I thought that was pretty cool. We'll talk about the Prowler in a second. Oh, I saw these... this guy put these pictures from Big Guns of the UEE video. And I just thought some of them might be really good for people's... not screensavers, what am I talking about? Wallpapers. Let me link them in the chat so people can grab them if they want them. So I do want feedback from you guys. I am hopefully getting Twitch partnered soon. So I'm thinking of moving everything over to Twitch as well for the streaming. And that will allow me to focus more on that, to have better giveaways, hopefully have a better stream, get a better setup, lots of stuff, and it will make it a lot easier. Everything will be able to look better and that sort of stuff. But I do want your feedback on that. And what else do you want on the stream? Do you want to be able to request songs? Do you just tell me stuff? Tell me what you like the idea of. Do you like the kind of teachy stuff that I do here, or the talky stuff? Or do you want me to actually play the game more? I mean, obviously I will be doing both, especially when 2.6 comes out. I'm going to start to actually go... punch people in the fucking face. Oh, they got Melee back in. Melee's back in, boys! That's pretty exciting. I'm going to get rid of Ben's Twitter stuff. So yeah, expect those ships to go up in price if you haven't purchased them already. Just be aware of that. I do like the Banu. Some of these mega packs. I wish they did like the industrial mega pack again. That sort of stuff. I like... if they had all of the industry ships in a single package, I would probably buy it. Probably melt all my other stuff though. I do understand why they did those war bond sales, because the CIG don't want us to continuously melt and unmelt packages. That wasn't the system was intended for. They wanted people to purchase a pack and then stick with it. We've just become quite spoilt. Well, I certainly have. That's why I had that weird feeling when I bought the 890 jump for $290 more. I was like, ooh. Kind of like a little bit like I was an idiot. What are people saying? Question: will I be able to upgrade my base Starfarer into a Gemini by adding new better parts when this game go live? I don't know. I don't think so. I think that the hull on the Gemini is different. So, for example, the Vanguards have battlefield upgrade kits, which allows changing modules and armor and stuff. That's because it's effectively the same hull. I say all Vanguards, the Hoplite is actually a different hull compared to the others. But no, I don't think you'll be able to change the base Starfarer into a Gemini in the game. You'd have to sell the ship and buy a new one. I think they're totally different hulls, in the same way that you wouldn't be able to change a Taurus to a Phoenix. You eat information. I think more information the better. Toby, just whatever's comfortable at the moment. I'll make everyone aware. You don't have to jump onto Twitch now. One of the things that Twitch allows me to do, or having everyone on a single platform, is that I can do giveaways on that platform. Because at the moment I can really only do them on Twitch, and it just seems unfair to people that watch on the YouTubes. That said, I'll still put the Twitch VODs on YouTube once they're done. So you'll be able to rewatch these. I upgraded my Starfarer to Polaris for a cool $100 fee. How? How did you do that? Teach me, senpai. I'm mainly here for the giveaways. Fuck you, crazy Foxby. Will I be able to upgrade my... Don't need to through that. Gemini is a unique hull. Yeah, obviously already answered. Thank you. Have there been any confirmed modules for the Caterpillar yet? So they've talked about modules for the Caterpillar previously. I've got this Starfarer. Let's move around the ship and do some bits and bobs while we're talking. So, yeah, they've talked about some modules like having a chop shop module, having a salvage module, having an armory for weapons, having more barracks, living space, that sort of stuff. They have talked about stuff, but nothing super confirmed other than cargo modules. I'm expect it to be one of the most modular, if not the most modular ship in game. So pretty much anything your brain can consider. Yes, the module I was using for Chrome was called Star Citizen Hangar Explorer. Thank you, appreciated. I'm in an org called Nomad Black, which is going to be used for filming and a little bit of light roleplay. I am on Twitch right now, on twitch.tv/BoredGamer UK. Banner Merchantman, I refuse to buy one. Cool, seems reasonable. You can get it in game. Don't know how you get bored. I love Star Citizen. Maybe actually feel physically sick. Linking onto the ladder when I didn't expect it. So yesterday I went, so I'm a little tiny bit hungover, although I didn't drink too much. I went to a mega game yesterday. So this is like a big semi-roleplay board game event with like a unique made-up board game. And it was called, I can't remember what it was called. We were on this planet called Niwa. There was about 40 people there in total, I think. And people represented different governments and teams and different interests on this like new satellite colony that had become on this planet. And I was represented the black market along with this barmaid. He was literally a barmaid, both in game and was serving people at the bar alcohol. So it was actually pretty cool, and it was just about wheeling, dealing, and subterfuge from my point. And I can recommend that if you are in the UK or anywhere else in the world and you hear of something called mega games, check them out if you like social war games and silly roleplay and that sort of stuff. Really big fun. Let me actually bring up here so I don't dox myself. I've got a problem with doxing myself because I'm an idiot boy. Mega game Southampton. So let's show this off if we can. So yeah, there's just a load of people. We got really drunk. There's this big map here, but everyone's under the tables because the controller said that a ship was coming awfully close and might crash land, and there was a warning, so everyone jumped onto the tables. It was a really good laugh. Yeah, I think they're worth checking out. It's silly roleplay stuff. Silly roleplay, but you know, I'm into that. Let's go back into Star Citizen. Bored, what's the best dish you can cook? Oh, So a lot of my mates will say it's monkey special meat, which is a braised Chinese-style pork belly that I do, where you basically pressure cook effectively a nice section of pork with soy sauce, garlic, cinnamon, lots and lots and loads of ginger, sugar, and then serve that with jasmine rice, and it's lots of other stuff in it as well. But it's absolutely fucking delicious. It's super rich though. I'm pretty good with my Chinese food. I'm trying to get better with sushi. My burgers are fucking amazing. Like I briefly ran a gourmet burger restaurant. I've done a lot. It's all right at cooking a few things. I'm actually surprisingly good with puddings now. Just some simple puddings. Spirits Within was fucking such a wank film. Oh, it looks pretty though. Pork belly. It does sound amazing. I might do some cooking on my channel eventually. You'll certainly see it on stream or some special stuff that I do, like when I get my silver play button from YouTube, that sort of stuff. I might do some silly videos. I do want to keep Star Citizen as the main theme of pretty much everything that we do because I like it. That's what the channel's about. As I said, we might do some other gaming, we might do some other streams on other stuff, but it won't affect too much of the Star Citizen content. And obviously we'll look at other games like Dual Universe and Space Engineers and anything that we can compare with Star Citizen. I quite like the bridge now. I mean, this bridge isn't hugely spacious, but it's functional, isn't it, this bridge? Sushi is hard to cook, yeah, it is for me. For me, it's more about getting the fish fresh enough, even though I'm in a port town, fish fresh enough easily to be able to do sushi with. Like, buying it in Tesco's or a supermarket just doesn't cut it. It's not suitable for sushi, it's too old. Wildlife and cooking on YouTube's, oh god, can be such an animal channel. I'm still classified as an animal channel. Yeah, I mean, maybe at Christmas. I mean, Christmas is going to be a big time for my YouTube channel and for streaming. So, yeah. But people give me feedback on... Oh, no. Why went... It wouldn't let me look where I wanted. Starfire is pretty big. It looks smaller. Now that I've got the plans of it in my head, and I know the corridors and everything, it seems smaller to me. It was a lot bigger when I was a bit confused. What's SE? Is SE comparable with Star Citizen? What's SE? Hello, Bored. Hello, everyone. Do you think we can see... oh, yeah. So hopefully 2.6 will be coming to the PTU, or the Evocati PTU, possibly the full PTU. I doubt it. But the Evocati PTU tomorrow, and I suspect that is probably the case, although we don't know. Obviously, I can't talk about the Evocati stuff once it's out, unless anything's public knowledge as announced by CIG about it. Did you use a plugin to display your Hangar items? Yes, it's called Hangar Explore. Go search on Reddit for it. Space Engineers. Yeah, Space Engineers. I mean, I quite like some of the survival games and some of the building games like 7 Days to Die, Rust, Space Engineers. There's loads of them. There's been a couple recently, isn't there? There's lots of them. Look at this bad boy. I really am quite liking... Starfire is growing on me. Changing mine into a Reclaimer. Yeah, someone I know must have a Starfarer. I just need it for content. I'm not gonna be enjoying flying around doing fuel gathering. Though I am gonna enjoy mining. How odd. It's odd, isn't it? Just upgraded my Starfarer to Genesis. Yes, good. It does apparently have also all of the fittings to change it effectively into a Starfarer, just with the armor, extra armor. So you get the missile pod. What I mean by this is you get the missile pod on the front of the Genesis there, but you can change it back for the fuel scope, basically. I think that's the only difference. Other than obviously the armor and slightly reduced carrying capacity. No, so we know that the Buccaneer has, however, been... let's jump into an ATV, actually. So we do know that the Buccaneer is in white boxing, and the Drake pipeline is probably one of the most efficient, if not the most efficient, ship pipeline. So sooner than we think. I mean, it could be as early as 3.1. Just throwing a random patch out there at you. Morning! I get 131 exams. Okay, jeez. The schedule report says it starts Monday. I mean, obviously those are internal target dates. So if something's not right Monday, then it won't. Those are target dates. They change. And the idea of that is that hopefully we won't get disappointed if they do change. Well, we'd like to be disappointed, but you know what I mean. Righty. How... Is that good volume-wise? Tell me if that's not good volume-wise. Genesis versus Gemini. I mean, the Genesis is obviously that carrier of people. And it's going to have, like, the air attendant and look after your people and a flight attendant and all that sort of stuff. Gameplay, running your own business as a passenger jet, effectively. Or I think you possibly can change them out with modules for, like, racing ships and things as well. So you could, like... I think it talks about them housing M50s and stuff. But that were quite different modules. We haven't actually seen anything of that. The Gemini, obviously the Starfarer Gemini, it's just a variant. It's a different hull. It's a hull variant. There's a bit of confusion between loadouts, hull variants, battlefield upgrade kits, and all that sort of stuff. We'll do a video on that eventually when CIG have finalised more ships. But the Gemini is just the armoured Starfarer, more military. It's got a missile pod instead of a fuel scoop, but you can change it back to a fuel scoop. More armoured fuel transport.
Hi and welcome.
Thank you very much for the offer. Much appreciated.
Look inside the development of Star.
I might use your Starfarer Gemini. I appreciate it.
Supervisor here.
I love Forrest as well, by the way. He's super fucking enthusiastic. And you can tell he's not scared of Chris at all, like as a boss. He's just so enthusiastic that he doesn't see fear. He's just like, I love you, Chris. You're the best. Woo! Thanks for inviting me. Woo! I think it's awesome.
With a man you might know, game director Chris Roberts.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining us. Last Friday was our big anniversary live stream. We tried a new approach for this year and framed it as the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, an in-fiction ship exhibition.
Yeah, I heard something about them wanting to add a salvage module to the Prospector as well. I think that should be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to the Prospector because it is different from the Orion. It allows you to land on planets, it allows you to land on asteroids, and it allows you to get into places the Orion can't. So the Orion's going to be an amazing strip miner, and you might make more money with the Orion. There's going to be the occasional time that the Prospector is needed to get like that super expensive diamonds in the middle of an asteroid field, which you couldn't possibly get to with the Orion, or you'd have to chew up so many asteroids with the Orion that maybe it's not worth your while using an Orion there.
Which I thought was a really cool idea.
Super cool idea. So cool, in fact, that people in the forums kept asking about getting to go to that in-game. Do you think there's a chance?
Well, you never know. So you know me and in-fiction stuff, but having in-game events like...
So, yes, the 85X moved from 3.1 or whatever it was to 2.6. You'll be seeing lots of ships appear in patches that have not been mentioned, especially variants. But there's going to be other ships as well that appear that weren't mentioned. That roadmap that we got to see at CitizenCon or Gamescom or whatever it was not it didn't have all the ships in. And they went, oh, yeah, we're only talking about certain ones. So just bear that in mind. And they will get moved.
Would be amazing ways to make
they'll get done when they're done.
Let's see long term. In the meantime, though, it gave us a chance to see some new Galactic Tour segments, which are always fun. And
his eyes are so blue, aren't they? Chapuni. Like, you could get lost in those pools of manliness, couldn't you? Again. So blue.
Unveil our first Tavaran ship, the Prowler.
And the Tavaran.
And the Tavaran, although we didn't quite manage to show him on the show. We had to see it later on Twitter due to a small technical fault.
So, it's a good point. Let us have a look at... There we go. I just want to look at the Tavaran faces. Oh, that's my... Oh, sorry, you can't see that. Don't you worry about that. Don't you worry about that, mate. You can't see that. Look at these bird people, mate. So this is some concepts of the actual Tavaran faces. as we thought, avian-y people. They are still alive. They still exist on Earth. There might be satellite colonies of them that don't know the war's over with the humans, or have never encountered humans before, possibly. But they have a senator in the UEE now. Their fashion and stuff is popularly kind of currently being used in the UEE. Yeah, and I think they look pretty cool. Kind of like the feathers on the third one with the face, the first one. I think they all look pretty cool, actually. Quite terrifying, though. Very alien. And that's what you want from an alien race. Them looking alien. Helps, doesn't it? We'll keep that newsletter to the side, because we might want to look at it again in a minute.
But Josh Herman gave us a first look, and me and Dave Haddock and Josh sort of talked about the Tavarian. And Nathan Dursley in the UK put together an amazing...
Does anyone have a man crush on Forrest? No.
Showcase the capital ships.
Polaris is probably already being white-boxed, starting.
A preview of 2.6 Alpha with some exciting arena...
Tavarin do taste like chicken, confirmed.
Which I think was sort of the headline of the live stream.
Yeah, that's a ton of cool stuff. We also have...
I think we'll start to see alien NPCs. I do think that will be a thing that we can hire as crew. I wanted to talk about that at a later date when I know more about that, but I do think that's going to be a thing.
A big sell on physical merchandise as well, so check out...
I actually agree with you, Azrael. I didn't want to see feathers on them. I wanted them to be possibly hairy or something, or whatever. The feathers don't feel right, even if they were sort of like just skin, like a sphinx bird, rather than the feathers. You know, I do know what you mean.
Check out the site to see what you might have missed.
Yeah, definitely. And there was one other big announcement that we did on Friday, made some news over the weekend.
Prospector might be able to fit into Crucible. You need to measure it when they're both out.
Schedule report on the RSA website. So this breaks down the current status from all the departments that are working towards the release of 2.6 Alpha. Basically, this will serve as a direct feed from our production department to let you guys know where we're at in terms of getting the build towards you. It's a lot of information.
Is the volume good now?
Updated weekly, and it's a pretty big thing. I mean, we're doing this as an experiment. Not many people do this, but I'm kind of excited about it. Sort of a lot more transparency. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone appreciates it. It's incredible.
So yeah, supposedly some dinosaurs had feathers, but that's because they were it's native to Earth. There's genetic markers, and there are certain evolutionary things that only the Earth should have provided. I think that's one of the ideas. I'm not a xenobiologist or anything like that. I have no fucking clue. But I remember hearing other people say that.
We'll be talking plenty more about Star Marine later on in this episode, but first,
yeah, they still look cool.
Now go to
I love them.
Brian
I think they're amazing.
in Frankfurt for a studio update. Take it away, Brian.
Hi everyone, I'm Brian Chambers, Development Director here at Foundry 42 Frankfurt. Since our last update here, the team's grown by another 5 people. We have 2 new environment artists, a tech animator, regular animator, and a producer. So we're taking the time to integrate them into the team, show them what they need to know, and so on to...
So anytime this German studio grows, I mean, this is true of all the studios, but for me, the German studio are doing... They're a highly efficient CIG studio. I think they make a significant portion of the game. And these CryEngine guys, they're all geniuses. When I talked to Brian at BritainCon, the love and respect he has for all of his team members, he basically says they've all earned it because of their skill. And yeah, I think from what he was saying, I just think they're making so much progress at the game, and they're just so good. They're just amazing, these guys.
Hit the ground running. Let's kick off this week by checking in with the weapons team and see what they've been doing over the last few weeks.
Hello everybody. So here's a quick update on what the weapon artists have been up to recently, starting with ship weapons.
So these are the new polished missiles and some new missiles. My voice is going. I've got flu at the moment. I literally just caught it. My family who all got flu, and they've been like in bed. And my mother was worried the other day because she said she thought she was going to have to be taken to hospital because it was that bad. Unfortunately, around Southampton, because we're a student town, students flood in, and we get like a sickness around just before Christmas normally, where everyone gets ill, and normally it's quite bad. So. If I'm not streaming on Tuesday or something, or if you hear my voice like this in a video, it's because I'm ill. So bear that in mind. was I going to say as well? Stop getting sick. Yeah, it's because I've been messing around with my meds effectively, and stuff's not been working. So I just think it's been destroying my immune system. That and not been going outside. So I've got no vitamin D, and vitamin D is significantly better than vitamin C. For taking in pill form to keeping you healthy. If you don't know that, top tips from BoredGamer.
We've taken a look at all of our missiles and polished and optimized them. We've also added a bunch of new ones for 2.6. The FPS weapons team has started to work on our new manufacturer, Castak Arms, and created the first set of new concepts and white box meshes.
So these Castak Arms are cool. I mean, that literally looks like a Nerf gun. 1 second. Bear with me 1 second. The chair doesn't need to be in charge. It's only going to be... Oh! Don't want to fall off the bed again. So, I mean... that's quite similar, isn't it? No. It's a Nerf gun that I made for my silly costume for CitizenCon last year.
As for FPS gadgets, David will now talk you through some of the new stuff he's been working on.
They're very modular, aren't they, these ones? It looks like that they're literally just different modules from the guns on the front, make it into the different guns, so that changes from a sniper rifle or a rifle to a shotgun, just based on a couple of component changes, moves around. And I suppose manufacturers like that would use very similar bodyworks for a lot of their guns. Hopefully we've got universal rail systems, so we're about to change over modules very quickly and easily between our guns. That would be very good. That would be so fun.
Recently.
Customizing weapons is going to be a massive thing. Cosplay incoming.
Many of you have...
Did you guys not see my silly low-res pirate cosplay? I'll
seen
find
the
it.
multi-tool in Austin's latest ATV. But today we want to take a closer look at it. The Greycat Industrial Multi-Tool is a pistol-sized power tool with modules attached to the front. In its current state, it has 2 modules. The first is a cutting module with lasers and a lens to cut through thin steel or open containers. The second one is a welding tool to quickly repair objects or patch up damage.
So this is going to be able to cut through doors and boxes is the idea, or thin metal, but also repair and weld stuff. So it's a cool little multi-tool, cool little welding hand tool. I suspect that these are going to be used for patching up ships, the hand patching that you'll do on a lot of ships internally. We'll have an active display as well, which they're working on at the moment. But this looked fucking beautiful, didn't it?
It's also possible that we add more modules in the future with different functionality. Right now, there is no active display, but we plan to implement it before it is available for you.
So Greycat Industrial, who also make the little buggies, the golf carts. I can imagine a little a team of like repair guys or engineers riding around in the Greycat buggy, jumping out of ships and capital ships to weld things.
We also made a variety of grenades with different effects and...
So these grenades, these MK4s, were seen in the Star Citizen Star Marine gameplay footage that Twerk played in.
Styles.
That's the grenades
the first grenade you are able to use is the MK4 frag grenade, which will make its first appearance in Star Marine as part of the multiplayer gameplay. But when it comes to PU and later on Squadron 42, we need more variety. So we have an incendiary grenade, cluster grenade, EMP, and radar distortion.
Let's go back a couple of seconds. I think they all just... This looks so beautiful, some of them.
EMP and radar distortion.
So the DS would... I mean, I know that's the MP one, but that would suggest to me that's distortion. Radar net.
I hope you liked our new stuff, so maybe leave a comment, and see you next time.
Thanks, guys. The level design team, last few weeks, they've been continuing to work on the modularity.
So I'll talk about this in a second, actually. I'm hoping to see more ground vehicles next year when 3.0 is released. Yes, that's when we'll start to see those ground vehicles, the buggy and the Dragonfly. They'll definitely both be in 3.8. So definitely, almost certainly. Unless they cause like some sort of bug or blocker. And so they've continued to work on this modular system
that we showed a few weeks ago.
This is pretty cool. They're starting to grey box them, to drop them in the game.
They're also working on a handful of space stations, all focused towards 3.0.
So these are some of the new stations that we're going to see in 3.0, and they're being white boxed here.
When they work with the space stations, they're primarily working with white box and grey box, while the UK art team in tandem dials in the visuals.
So white boxing is basically what we're seeing here, where they get the general shapes and they get the feel and the size and everything right. Grey boxing is when they go a step further, and they put textures on it, and they move stuff around, and it's a lot more detailed.
System design team has been focusing on usables and character actions for both player and AI, how they interact with the world and the objects and all the details around that. They've also been working on a takeoff and landing system for ships, and that's both from platforms and from other ships. So a ship taking off and going in and out of another ship. The environment team has grown by a few people, as I previously mentioned.
So this is pretty cool. So they're working on lots more ecosystems constantly all the time, apparently. And I suspect there's quite a few that we haven't seen yet, that they're already done. I mean, we kind of saw in the CitizenCon footage, when they were showing how to like place the streaming buildings and stuff. We saw later on that we saw like the sulfury kind of hot burny planet. We saw like the ecosystem at a distance. So there's going to be loads. But this is the mining pit ecosystem.
They're primarily focused on
areas specifically, I assume, that have been mined out or quarried.
Expanding the existing ecosystems that we've shown you, as well as creating new ones, all to be used with a direction of 3.0. They work extremely close with the engine team on a daily basis. They iterate both on the tech side.
So this looks beautiful. So they do a lot of stuff every time we see them from the German studio. But so the procedural object scattering stuff here allows for a lot more detail and cool little objects on the floor as the areas are procedurally rendered. So we get to see lots of rocks, we get to see pebbles, we get to see lots of cool texture on the floor, and the way the light reacts to it and stuff is just all it kind of
and the art side
back
and
so
forth
much more
until we get the visuals where we need them to be.
Look at all these stones and textures on it. Look how dense, effectively, this cover is. It's huge. There's a huge amount going on here. It doesn't seem to pop in either. This is great. Especially they can do it at that speed. That huge slowdown. Hello! Yeah, that microtech plant's going to be cool. I can't wait for all the landing zones. So, for 3.0, we're not going to get fully flashed out landing zones, but we will get them at least roughed out. Well, at least I'm not expecting fully flashed out landing zones. I suspect that we will have the early iterations of them, and they will get a lot more improved. Same with most of the locations in the system. So do expect for all of the procedural bodies to be there, all of the major zones and areas to be there, but they will keep on adding to them, refining them, making them a lot better. It does look like a bit like Mars, or how I envision Mars. Yeah, you're right. This is quite cool. This is cloud layers as they pass overhead, so when light passes through them, the way that light diffuses through it, where it's blocked by how it's partially blocked by it, how that then reacts on the water, that sort of stuff. See you later, Snake Slim. Or if, oh no, you were just doing a reference to running on the planet rather than going, I see. Doing a Sonic-y reference.
For AI, the team's been working hard, advancements in subsumption system, additional behaviors, as well as pushing combat a little bit further.
Do you want the Starfarer Geminus, or do you want the Reclaimer? Simple as that. White has SE, HSE. You may be about to get them both in game, so you only need one if you've already got them anyway, and just go for the one that you like the idea of more. I personally prefer the Reclaimer out of those two. I like the idea of treasure hunting. I like the idea of doing salvage. I like the idea of the super massive ship that is Reclaimer. The Reclaimer is going to be massive. It is going to make the Starfarer look tiny. Well, maybe not tiny, but small.
We hope to have something to show you for our next update from Frankfurt. So that's it from the team here. Thanks for the time for watching, and goodbye.
Thanks, Brian. Those weapons are looking pretty nice, huh?
Yeah, no, they're looking really good. I also like the paw.
Good stuff.
Or some of the grenades are looking good. And
Super cool.
Concept stuff.
Chris has all of the hand signals and movements, doesn't he? Forrest has got that as well a lot of the time. Forrest does that very much, but Chris does that. He's like a wizard. He could be a magician. Oh my God, Chris the magician.
Also, having expanded ecosystems is really going to help a variety of potential.
And also, Chris can't see any of the words in the English language properly. Ecosystems, Chris. Are they pinging an echo back at you?
Environments.
I'm good.
Once we
I'm good.
start populating
Don't worry.
with those modular
I love you, Chris. Sorry.
Outposts and other stuff that we do, it's going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah, for sure. If you're interested in reading more about PlanetSide, there's an in-depth.
Yeah, that is a really annoying thing that you can't upgrade your Starfarer to a Caterpillar anymore because the Caterpillar's $5 cheaper than the Starfarer's new price. Yeah, sorry, dude.
Article about the Making of Homestead demo in last Friday's Jump Point. So subscribers, go download it if you haven't already. I've read it. It's awesome. Go check it out.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of work everyone put together in that one.
Well, I'm sorry, Side Slides.
Showed off and
maybe I want to talk to people.
A great thing. So also we should check in with our
some of that.
community.
You're not my mods.
So let's go to our community manager, Tyler Whitkin in Austin.
Oh yeah, I need to work out emotes and stuff, don't I? You guys will help me with emotes. You'll have to help me with emotes. Yeah, icons and emotes and stuff. I mean, Twerk's going to be my kind of my guru for that. Obviously, I talked to Saurus and all the other guys as well, but Twerk has helped me out so much with my stream. Like, I know a lot of you are his viewers as well, and a lot of you are Saurus's viewers. Without those two, streaming just wouldn't be a thing I do at all. And they've helped me out so much. So thank you. Yeah, there'll be lots of my egg-shaped head and silhouettes of my giant egg head.
Hey everyone, Tyler Whitkin, community manager
Tyler.
in the Austin, Texas studio, here to bring you this.
Oh, what shirt is this? It's Twerk's Trixie shirt. Saying ho ho ho, which I got the other day as well. I love the fact that I had to cover it up. Someone's obviously gone, you're not wearing that. You're not wearing that on stream.
This week's community update. We hope you enjoyed the anniversary live stream. We were super excited to see bar citizen viewing parties around the globe.
Maybe I should have, as like a symbol for me rather than my BoredGamer face. Maybe a BoredGamer face or my head with a shinier and shinier head based on how long you've been subbed or something.
A handful in the States, Canada, France, Sweden, and more. And we want to see pictures from your events. So make sure to tag us on social media or add the hashtag Aerospace Expo so we can check them out. Now, just as a reminder, the anniversary sale is still going on with different themed sales daily. So check back every day at robertspaceindustries.com.
So obviously we're on the final day now. You do have a few hours left, unless they extend it, in which case you'll have more, to purchase whatever you want.
To see what goodies are available leading up to the grand finale. And now it's time for this week's MVP award. A huge
Zeus is probably one of the most helpful community members that I've ever had. He sarcastically rips at me sometimes and tells me stuff like I didn't like this or I did like this, or pokes me to do stuff like, when's the monthly report coming out? And I go, I'll get it out by Monday, and then he kind of harasses me about it a little bit as a joke, but it does genuinely help me. So thank you very much, Cece. You're actually an absolutely fantastic community member, and thank you for helping me with my channel. Like, you're great. Thank you.
Congratulations
with all of
to
you,
Xeron for his extraordinary efforts in creating a Star Citizen fan cinematic, Vengeance of the Damned. This actually involved 83 different citizens, and if you haven't seen it, I encourage you to check it out for yourself on our community hub.
So this was cool. There were some sound issues. I want to talk with the video. I think the music was a little bit too loud for me. But if you change your speakers to, in a lot of situations, you can change your volume on your volume mixers. Let me show you what I mean, actually. Let's talk you through it. Otherwise, I'm just going to babble at you. So you go to enhancements on your speakers. You can actually turn on loudness equalization, which will make voices sound louder. That's the idea of that, anyway. Actually worked quite well with watching that video.
Lastly, the week would not be complete without Reverse the Verse, so make sure to tune in live tomorrow at twitch.tv/SIGcommunity at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, where we're going to be talking about everything that you saw on today's episode. Thanks again for all the support, and we'll see you in the verse.
The Intergalactic Aerospace Expo is going on the rest of the week, so you can check that out on the website for details on the daily ship sales. We'll also have a new Galactic
Get a room, you two. Yes, we will.
Tour segment each and every single day.
Yeah, another fun. I'm always watching that to see what Easter eggs Hannes has put in there. So, you know, there's a bunch of people that contributed and pulled that together sort of last minute. It was sort of a last minute kind of idea.
So
and
cool.
It pulled out.
Is that No Man's Sky patch out now? I want to try that out. I still have a copy. I want to try out the new No Man's Sky patch. I do think that they can save that wreck of a game, because it just needed to come out as an early access cheap game. As simple as that. It's a game that wasn't finished. They might be able to improve it to a point that's actually enjoyable for me to play, and I don't feel like I've been stolen. I don't feel like my money's been stolen. So it's just because they promised features that they just didn't have. They just didn't have. They went, oh, it's got multiplayer. It didn't have multiplayer! Piece of shit! So, calm down now.
It came together really good. So
Okay.
I think
I'll
it's
check
adding
that out
a
at
lot
some
of
point.
flavor to the expo.
I agree. So up next, we talk to team members from around the globe to learn more about the long road to bring Star Marine to life.
Yes, the long road.
long
And it's
road.
only just getting born, and it's still going to have to grow a bunch when it gets up.
Stefan's aggressive smile.
I'm Todd Pappy, design director.
So a lot of this episode around the verse was Star Marine stuff. I think pretty much now until the end is Star Marine stuff. Some of it's actually pretty good. They look at level design, and we get to see a bit more behind the scenes of obviously Star Marine. Oh, I don't know what I'm talking about anymore.
Today I want to talk to you about Star Marine and kind of the iterations that it's gone through.
They made 7 million this week on sales, did they? No, they can't have made that much. Surely. I'll look at that in a minute.
From Ilphonic to even our current team. So what you've seen before with Ilphonic, and then when it was handed over to our current team, there was a lot of adjustments, a lot of breakdown of basic fundamental features.
So I think that with the Ilphonic stuff, it just wasn't to the level that they wanted it, and they needed to bring it in-house. So Ilphonic obviously completed their contract. I don't think there's any bad blood between them, but I just don't think it's what they had envisioned. But we don't know about the Ilphonic stuff. Maybe one day we'll know more. Maybe one day I'll be able to interview Ilphonic about it. If you want to upgrade our Hornet Ghost to a Prospector, if you want an industry ship instead of that dogfighting, stealthier ship, up to you. Depends what you want. I'd go for a Prospector. I've already got a Sabre, so
that we can use those as building blocks when we go forward with our tech as well as with Persistent Universe. So
expect mid-December, so Friday second week in December, something like that, for the anniversary, for the holiday live stream.
When we started looking at Star Marine,
like the 15th last year.
It was always meant to basically be a precursor to the Persistent Universe and use this as a building block. Now, what we did was we kind of did a little bit backwards, where what you see in Alpha 2.0, 2.1, even through 2.5, is a very basic combat and navigation for Star Marine. So in 2.6, what we've done is we've built that up a lot more. We've added vaults.
So, let's have a look at the vaulting quick first.
Mantle.
So, vaulting, that's literally jumping over that object. So, a lot of stuff was in the 2.6 build that we saw Twerk use and that we'll be getting with 2.6, including the cover mechanic. That's literally going to be pointing your gun, get near a wall, your gun moves up, that means you're in cover, and then if you go down, aim down sights again, you'll lean round, and if you try and move your sight, you might lean round more or less, based on where you move your sight. So the cover mechanic was in there as well. Obviously vaulting was in there, mantling was in there. There was an issue where they were all running all the time. There was no fatigue system. The fatigue system is supposed to be in, so you're not supposed to be able to run continuously. Wearing medium armor, because they were all again wearing medium armor, should slow you down somewhat and make you reduce your energy quicker, effectively, so you can't run so long. I believe that's the intention anyway. Obviously, we're about to have different loadouts in the version that we get as well. So we're at the very least light and medium in the first iteration with different weapon choices as well. So that here they all have the same loadouts and everything. So it's a lot less tactical here, and it was a lot more run and gun than it should have been. So just keep that in mind. Its intention is not to be run and gun. It is supposed to be a tactical shooter, or at least a more tactical shooter, even in the Star Marine mode where you respawn. Obviously, that does make it a bit more arcadey as well because you respawn.
Cover, as well as grenades and melee, just to name a few features to actually build what our combat is going to be, and then from there in the future we'll be adding other new features like gadgets as well as...
Eddie Sontrent, yeah, do you have a link to what you just said about the length of the 600 series? I did not know that existed, and would be interested for a link, so you can cite the link. That would be great. Thank you, if that's correct. Breathing
stamina system, and this will give us a fully fleshed out combat.
I believe there will be hand signals in 2.6. They were talking about it. We're also getting the new camera angles as well, but the hand signals should be there so you can communicate with players, and I think it's going to be like numpad. I think it's literally going to be, or you're about to bind lots of them. Could be a wheel though, could be a gesture wheel. We'll have to wait and see. They wanted a numpad thing, I think.
Animation-wise in Star Marine, there's a whole lot of things that go into it. You have your character animation, which would be, say, your body animation of your character running around. You have your facial animation, so perhaps the character breathes or makes some sort of expression when he shoots. You have procedural animation, so we're holding the weapon and we're firing, and that recoil that is happening is procedural.
So not only procedurally based recoil, so obviously it's going to be dependent on your situation, the recoil and all that sort of stuff for your weapon, but also it affects your face, you'll be gritting your teeth or whatever. I loved the facial idols here, and I loved the idea of a lot of the animations being procedural generated and that sort of procedural based. Someone just asked me a question. Hopefully the 2.6 PT will hit Evocati tomorrow. That is what a lot of us are waiting for. Would Star Citizen work on a new... Yes, it works on my 1060 GTX laptop. So 1070 is going to be great. If you're running at 1080p as well, you're going to have great frames. You probably get away with 1440p on a 1070. I mean, the 1070 graphics cards in laptops and 1060 graphics cards in laptops are full-size graphics cards. They're not the M versions. They're not the mobile versions anymore. We live in the future, my friend.
And then as the hands squeeze on the trigger and squeeze on the weapon.
So, from an unconfirmed source, around 70 meters long, for the 600 series. That's cool. I mean, it's cool to know. I mean, obviously, we won't cite any unconfirmed sources, but it's cool to know. You know, I like more information's always good, isn't it? Even if it's incorrect. We don't know.
That's another character animation, but a partial body character animation that plays on top of that. The first step is that we sit down with the designers and sort of figure out what is the intent of this particular behavior or gameplay that we're doing, and we create a statement.
So this is basically a guide to how animations and that sort of stuff interact with each other. So what action do you have to do to get to this? To get to this, what does doing this do?
Machine for that, which tells us if we go from, say, an idle stance and we start to move, and then we need to jump, or we're going to vault or melee, how those things connect.
Oh,
and once
thank you very much, Redbuck Stone.
In the case
for subbing or resubbing.
Larger actions, say
volume is really low.
Stealth kill.
I don't know why it was so low.
Or
apologies.
Running.
Thank you.
We'll go and we'll shoot motion capture, and we'll.
So for anyone, there was like, look at this BoredGamer guy that's wearing this Nubifier t-shirt. Let's just do that for a second. No, that makes me look like I'm trying to show off my tits on stream. If anyone does want to support us before we get streamed, before we get partnered, because hopefully we'll get partnered, I'm going to... We do have a GameWisp and we do have a Patreon, which we'll still be using for other things, but we're going to be merging that all into like the same thing, so all the rewards are going to be for the same. But links below if you want to support the stream or channel further than you have. But just you guys watching and giving feedback is amazing and super important, and probably like the best thing you could do anyway. So thank you so much.
Grab the motion capture of those actors, we'll bring them into Motion
Jeremiah
Builder,
Lee!
into Maya.
You're right, buddy.
And we'll work on those animations.
You get to see me live.
To get them to be technically correct.
Thank you for joining us.
For the game. We'll play them then in the product and see how they feel, and we'll make adjustments within Maya or Motion Builder or something like this to try and really bear down on the quality that we're looking for the game. In the case of things like, say, reload animations.
So obviously these aren't the finalized textures and animations. Lol, 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 lol. Everyone, be nice to Jeremiah Lee in chat. I won't say fuck or bugger while he's here either, because I don't want to offend. Oh shit.
Because it's important in the first-person view for us to see the weapon reloading, but we also have a tied first-person and third-person view. We can't really motion capture those reloads fully. We have to do a lot of hand animation on those to make sure that they look good in third person and in first person. So depending upon what the asset will give us a different track that we go on. Either we...
It is not the new final textures, Jaylee. That was a red, green, and blue man with some yellow bits. Do not troll. Some of these people will use this against you. It will be screen capped, like, look at this and stars this and lol lol lol. Yes, I picked up an 890 jump. I had buyer's remorse immediately from buying it because it didn't have LTI. And it was $290 more than I wanted it to be because I could have purchased it when it was $600. But now I looked and went, if I couldn't buy it, I'd be more unhappy. I wanted that ship so much. I did have enough store credit in my account as well to be able to purchase that, so it wasn't the end of the world. It was inefficient of me. That's what I feel.
Do it with mocap or we do it with keyframe.
So excited for it.
So as a lead programmer, I manage a team, and our work is mainly player related. So for Star Marine, it's been a big advantage for us that we've been able to look at specifically the core.
See, that death was fucking cool, wasn't it? Let's look at this death again.
It's been a big advantage for us that we've been able to look at
specifically. He got shot in the neck. Just did that spin and hit the floor. Now that was a good death. I mean, some of the other deaths were quite weak because like they'd get hit and they just collapse. And I think that's obviously the deaths and ragdolls are kind of, they happen as they happen. But you want the deaths to feel like that, quite satisfying.
The core.
There's no weight to the bodies at the moment either. They kind of like are a bit light.
Big PU backdrop, but with any features we do. We always want to think about how they go into the PU. We don't want to put a feature in just because it's easy to do it in Star Marine, and then 3 or 4 months later find out that that's 1 or 2 years work.
Oh yeah, we need to get a good music list for the 890 jump. It's our party boat. That's the sound of a party, by the way, guys.
Word for
Don't know if you've ever
word,
been to one.
get into PU. We want these pieces to fit
party
into
boy.
the final game.
Alpha 2.0 back at the end of last year, and we've slowly been iterating on the features for that. So we have 2 different throw modes with the grenades in Star Marine. You can do underhand rolls or overhand throws or lobs.
So this is pretty cool. So any throwable item is going to be treated effectively as a grenade, and all the grenades are throwable items. So if you look above your like normal view level, you'll throw and lob a grenade. If you look under, then you will roll it. That's a pretty cool way of doing it. They're considering doing it as 2 separate things, 2 totally separate buttons, I think. But we'll have to wait and see. We'll see I think they're going to see what feels the best, feels the most ergonomic, and that means user friendly.
And currently, that's
Oh, some Explore guys in the
selectable
house.
depending on the
We were using Hangar Explore earlier. I was explaining to people that Hangar Explore mod for the hangars, allowing you to see more
view
information.
angle, whether you're looking above the center line of the screen or below the center line of the screen. And we can adjust that quite easily on dev side, but we're going to look to expose that to be a...
I like the fact that actually damaged the part of his body that should have been damaged by it. That was pretty cool. So
or use a customizable preference. So currently it's set at a fraction of under the center of the screen to decide between if you're beneath that, then do a roll. If you're above that, do a throw. So
Makes
we'll
sense.
see whether that's something we'll let users customize.
I'd like this radar, because they were talking about making it sonar. I'd like the idea of it detecting sound. That makes sense. Or anything that's visually confirmed by you or a teammate. So that explosion should show up on the radar. Or shooting a gun would show up on a radar. I think that's actually quite a good idea. Or hearing footsteps really close to you or something.
Because obviously not everyone
Just
wants to do it like that. Or whether we can expose that out into 2 different throw modes. And it's one system, so it's not just grenades, it'll be for gadgets.
Red Boxster, feel free to message me, send me a message, whatever. I'll help you out as much as I can. With anyone that wants to do Star Citizen streaming or content, feel free to send me a message. You can send me one, BoredGamer at boredgamer.co.uk to get directly to me. And if you need help with the stream or Star Citizen content, I will help you if I have time. At the very least, I can send you a quick bit of information and signpost you to some stuff. I want more content creators to get into this game. And without people helping me, I wouldn't have been able to do fucking anything. So I want to pay that forward as much as I can.
Or any throwable object. You can also cook or prime grenades. So you just literally hold down the key to do that. Depending on how long you hold it for is how long it cooks for. Obviously let go before the timer runs out. You have some audio and UI feedback for that. Just remember that the grenades have quite a big radius on them, so if you hold it down for too long and then don't let go soon enough, you will get caught in the blast radius.
So, melee weapons. I'm not sure if there's actually going to be melee weapons. There probably will be eventually, certainly, but I'm not sure if there's going to be anytime soon specific melee weapons. Oh no, there will be. Of course there will be. There'll be Vandal knives and things. There's going to be melee weapons. Of course there is. But at the moment, melee, which is back in 2.6, it just uses the weapon you currently have equipped to attack. So if you have your rifle or shotgun, it will do a kind of pistol whip or butt in the face. And I believe Twerk said it was an insta-kill when he used it.
We use DataForge to tweak all the parameters for grenades, so the throw speed, their mass,
blue as well.
the
start
angle,
of it.
you throw them at the rotation that they throw. So we can have different rotational values for overhand and underhand throws. So underhand ones we want to roll.
People were asking about the Xi'an, how they're coming along to Jeremiah Lee. So expect to know a lot more about the alien races after we've seen Squadron 42 come out. I suspect that then we'll start to see a lot more. Obviously, the alien stuff is difficult. Some cases, they only have one ship at the moment to identify an entire race, like the Banu Merchantman. Though I suspect there will be another Banu ship, as we discussed from that whiteboard leak, and the Banu Marksman? Or something like that. We just don't know. And there's going to be lots of Xi'an ships. They've got to have capital ships, haven't they? They've got to. The Banu have got to maybe have capital ships or a fighter, or some form of smaller ships, smaller trade ships, possibly larger galleons for their capital ships. If they don't, maybe it's just you don't know for the races. Yeah, so I want to see more about those races. I'm looking forward to seeing other Tavaran ships if there are any more. But yeah, some of those races that only have one ship to define the race, they need a lot more.
Roll more on one axis than the other, so they roll along the floor more. Overhands sort of go end over end, so they hit and bounce rather than hit the ground and just slide. Try something, doesn't work, go into DataForge, move a slider around, type a new value in, save that out.
So, people that are asking about the Giant Lions, I don't think we'll see any direct references to Wing Commander like that. Although, rather than see races, we might hear about them. So maybe they might talk about something like them. Maybe. I don't know.
Jump back in game and you've got the new values there, so it's very quick to iterate. Star Marine
That's
is a
Banu
sort
Xi'an
of
racist
simulation
from
of FPS combat inside the game. So it's like we have Arena Commander as a simulation of the dogfighting. Functionally, it's the same between Arena Commander and Star Marine and the PU. So what you're learning in both of them is directly applicable to the PU. So it's not like we're giving you easy mode for how ships handle or how the weapons handle. It's the same. So you're not wasting your time doing one, and then you suddenly get ruined going straight into the PU. It's good to learn. And Star Marine is obviously the FPS side of it, whereas Arena Commander is the ships.
Oh, Banner getting slight changes. Well, we've only seen concepts of the like the Xi'an and the Banu anyway, haven't we? So it's nice to know that the Banu might be getting some slight changes to make them more unique or defined. But obviously they only have the merchantman, which is in second phase concept, I believe, to define them. So that ship might need to be defined first, or do they need to define the race look first? I suppose you need to know how high they are and how they operate a ship. It must be so difficult to be alien races.
Arena Commander is an amazing tool for the ship team to balance how the ships work, how they feel, how they
we don't know what the
play
Kurthak
against
are like,
each other.
I don't think.
With Crusader, having FPS in Crusader.
All we know about the Kurthak is they're on the other side of Xi'an space and that they had a war with the Xi'an called the Spirit Wars. Pretty sure that's all we know about the Kurthak at the moment.
It's been great for initial feedback, but it doesn't have the competitive edge because you always start out in a green zone. You might have a lot of people that aren't interested in that aspect of the game. Whereas with Star Marine, you're not going to jump into a game if you don't want to run around and shoot at people. So it's going to be amazing to see what we can get out of that.
So
that's going to allow people that play Star Marine. It's going to be quick. It's going to be easy. It's going to be matchmaking. So you go, I want to play a game of Star Marine. Boo! Done. It's in there. That's the idea anyway. So that will allow us to get games very quickly, and we can have a more run around and arcadey game experience. It doesn't matter when we die. We're about to earn rec through that as well, I believe. Hopefully we're able to buy items and weapons for Star Marine with that. If you know anything about that, General, you can tell us. Will we be able to purchase items in Star Marine? Or is that more of we're going to get loadouts for the first iteration and we just have loadout options?
So now we're going to give you a little bit more of a deeper dive on how we go about building levels as well as game modes for Star Marine. With that, when Chris Roberts starts talking about FPS experiences and everything like that, he doesn't want it to be a kind of a traditional open FPS world.
At the moment, we started off by using it as just a large 3D space, like 6 degrees of freedom and just shooting. But that's not as interesting if there's nothing there, so we need to kind of build things around it.
Multiplayer level design is an iterative process.
Everything's an iterative process. Urgh. If you're doing a drinking game, please drink now. So this is one step beyond the white boxing, I suppose, for the FPS levels where they work out where they want stuff to be, the feel and flow of the maps, and this is basically how they build maps for the mini FPS maps for Star Marine. I suspect that it's going to be a lot different for actual stations and satellites and landing zone stuff, because everything would effectively need a function and a reason, much more than the Star Marine levels, which can be just for game flow and balance. So stations in the verse don't need to be balanced because the universe is always changing, and that was almost a Buddhist reference.
You start with an idea.
Doesn't need to be balanced.
Can come from either
Star Marine
concept art or just the idea for a scenario, or potentially a top-down sketch. I prefer to work with rough 3D shapes, which I can then flesh out.
Yeah, so that's what I expect actually. Yeah. So looks like we've seen the loadout screens and stuff for that. So expect at least being able to change your loadouts for the 2.6. Hopefully in the future we're able to purchase items and stuff and first-person cool things using rec in the future.
Out into the basics of a white box. So when the white box is play-tested, it requires a lot of iteration. It requires perfecting the sight lines, timing the choke points, and maintaining metrics. A white box's primary intention is to minimize rework later on, whilst getting the balance and fun in the game as soon as possible.
The balance and fun in game. Get that
Parallel
fun
to
in the game as soon
initial
as possible.
playtests, art and narrative are also working. They're planning their treatment of the locations and spaces, and they are very much informed by the white box, but they do bring their own ideas from their own pool. There's a lot of back and forth with art when maintaining metrics. There's always the desire to make things look visually appealing, but we always need to...
Yeah, it looks like GoldenEye. Oh, shit. When it's not textured, it looks
make
like
sure that
GoldenEye.
the mechanics will still work well with that. So that's judging heights of crates and mantling points and distances between doorways and keeping routes clear. As testing progresses...
So what I'm looking forward to is a Vandal Swarm-esque FPS mode. I love PvE in games. Co-op PvE is just amazing. I love it so much. If we can get that, as soon as we get that mode in, it's going to be so fun.
Are able to flesh out areas that have become a little more set in stone. And over time, the map changes from a textureless shell to...
This is pretty impressive. The textures, the lights, and those sounds, especially the ambience and the sounds, that really brings the area to life. I need to take some more anti-flu stuff in a minute.
More believable and aesthetically pleasing location.
What we wanted to do for this release of Star Marine is focus on 2 maps. This is a mood board that we created for one of the maps. It gives Chris a good high-level overview of the visual stance that was going to do for the level. This is one of the visual feedback sheets that we do for the guys. So it's basically me screenshotting the level after it's been in production for a little while and kind of giving more specific feedback. Everything from base form reads of the level, how it's flowing, mood and character that we want to start adding into the scene. This is an example of one of the concept art pieces we've done for one of the maps. Once the designer white box.
So I'm so sorry. So obviously, I'm a bit ill at the moment. I am hungover. I do yawn quite often as a person. I don't want to make sure you think you're boring, Jeremy. Because you're not. You're really good. You're really good at your job. No. Sorry, I apologise.
It's been verified and signed off. Then we'll take it into concept to see where we want to visually push the scene. This is a good chance for us to explore where we want to take it, play with the moods, play with the lighting, play with the dressing, to see what will work.
You can't troll me, Jeremiah Lee.
Once we got something we're happy with,
you don't know you're dealing with me.
And try and recreate that as the best they can and treat that area as a visual target. And then once it's in production, we kind of see how well it's working and then expand those visual elements out across the rest of the environment. This is an early example of what I call a visual feedback sheet for the guys. So once the level's taken to about 80-90%, I'll give them a final paint to
4 Kings, I always think of a class
that
first
last
as well.
10%, that last bit of polish usually involves things like material read, lighting, VFX, just so we get that final view. What's quite interesting is usually when you make an FPS map, it's usually, traditionally, it's like a stripped down version of like the campaign level.
You get a 85X or maybe even 2 with the 890 jumper standard, just so you know.
So it's usually a little bit lighter, a little bit cheaper to run because you've got a lot of characters. But for us, what we wanted to do is almost the opposite. We wanted to make a hero location for a specifically
well,
for
Chris. Thank you very much.
FPS, right?
Nice.
So hopefully what the players are going to see is a lot more considered time, a lot more considered visually, so they can get, I'm hoping...
Simon, you have full posting rights on here as well. You can always link anything like that. Any of your stuff is always welcome, genuinely always welcome. And in fact, I encourage it. And you have full linking rights to do anything. If it's anything Star Citizen based, just go crazy.
Good experience.
So we have 2 Marines and we have 2 Slavers, a medium and a light of each one. In fact,
so this is what we'll be getting in 2.6. It looks like a medium and light class. I think one was called the Protector.
Using the same assets that we're using in Squadron 42 and same ones that we're using in the persistent universe. So the Marines...
So these are shared assets between Squadron 42 and Star Marine, and obviously will be getting added into the persistent universe as well.
That you are going to see here in Star Marine are actually the first time that you're going to see these Marines, and we're eventually going to be putting
my
them
channel.
into
I
the
can
persistent universe as well.
Yes,
the things that we use mostly for the Marines are going to be more kind of industrial, heavier, bulkier suits, but also trying to tie that into
I will not buy you a
slicker,
carrot.
streamlined
Sorry.
feel, so that they can feel powerful yet streamlined.
Making an FPS and indeed making Star Citizen.
I will see you later, Jeremiah Lee. You take care, mate. Thank you so much for joining us.
And it doesn't all happen at once.
Very, very,
so
very honoured to have you on
as
the
you guys
stream.
are
Much
out
appreciated,
there
mate.
playing Star Marine, we want to know your feedback, both the good and the bad, right? What do you like the recoil speeds?
Oh my
How do you
God,
feel
Anton. Yeah, we'll look at BritainCon properly in a minute. Plug away. Talk about BritainCon. Anton is the, otherwise known as Chris, is the organiser of BritainCon, and we will talk about that after this Around the Verse video. But it's basically a large Star Citizen meetup in the UK. Anyone's welcome to come. There are tickets though. Chris is running a fundraising program for it. Though if we don't hit those fundraising goals, then we will still, he'll still fund it. But yeah, help him out if you can. Have a look at the thing. We'll have a look at it as well in a minute.
About this melee, what do you use this cover system functionality? Do you not use this cover system functionality? Because
Steve Bender's a fucking legend as well.
This is
enthusiastic.
a big community-backed,
always kind of thinking and focusing on the tasks.
And we can't do it without the community.
Insane amount of detail.
And it's a partnership between the game we're making and the game that they're helping us create.
This music was so Silent Hill-like, wasn't it? So we will watch that in a second. Let's go to Brit. So this is BritainCon. We did one this year already, where there was a panel with some YouTube creators you might recognise. Oh, look at these guys. It's this egg-shaped fucking legend. And then obviously we had one with Brian Chambers as well, which was also okay. It was amazing. We had a huge amount of developers there. We had a good amount of fans there as well, and we had game cab people. We did lots of random bits and bobs. It was a cool little convention-y thing. And we chatted, and then we went out and had a big bar citizen afterwards and got drunk with the devs and all that sort of stuff. It was all up in Manchester, right by Winslow, where the CIG offices is. Dubla Thackeray, looking at. I wonder how Brian does his hair and beard. But next one is on the 22nd of April in the same place, the Radisson Blu Hotel in Manchester in the UK, and there's a crowdfunding campaign for it as well. Let's tick. How to? Yeah, okay. We're getting there. It's a month left to raise £6,000 that they want to pay for the venue and all that sort of jazz. Should be a good laugh. I encourage people to come and check it out. Obviously, with this thingamajig, you can get tickets as cheap as £18 good British pounds. So check that out, guys. I will link it in the description as well. In the description, you know what I mean. I'll link it in chat now. Bam. There we go.
Well, there you go. There's a lot of people that have been working on all the various elements of Star Marine. There's still quite a lot of stuff that will go. But while we have FPS currently available in the PU Alpha at Korea and
Brian's definitely coming to this one.
Time-consuming process
well.
if you want to practice your FPS skills.
No matter how much I practice, I keep getting sniped on the landing platform, then have to go all the way back to LSR, which I'm sure you have nothing.
I don't know
anything about that, right?
Not at all. So anyway, getting Star Marine out in 2.6 will allow testers to hammer a bit more easily on the mechanics and provide us with some valuable feedback. What we learn from its development will translate directly into Squadron 42 and the PU, and so I think that's a really good way to approach things, and people should realize that it's much like with Arena Commander, we're getting it out there, and we will constantly be working and improving it and iterating based on everyone's feedback, so please participate.
Yeah, most definitely.
So once I feel a bit better, I'm going to have a shave. I need to shave my hair and I need to shave my beard. I'm rough at the moment. I'm just feeling ill and my glands are so swollen that my neck's tender.
And of course, while we're all eagerly waiting on the release of 2.6,
there is a lot for players to do right now in the 2.5 patch. Missions and combat in the PU, shopping and dancing in ArtCorp.
Always dancing. And there's also Arena Commander with Battle Royale, Vandal Swarm.
They're actually pretty good together, aren't they, Forrest and Chris? They bounce off each other. It works.
And Murray Cup Racing, all available to play and test. So any feedback or bugs you find while testing should be reported to the forums and the issue council, and that stuff's really helpful. I think it's one of the
I love 2.5.
Superpowers of our game and community is we have this sort of symbiotic relationship in a lot of different ways.
As a developer, it's such useful information.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's it for today. As always, we'd like to thank our generous subscribers who make the extra contributions that allow us to make this video content.
Yeah, no, thank you guys. And also a big thank you to all our backers and supporters, without whom we wouldn't be here in the first place. Right. So, you know, big help from the entire team from around the world to you guys. Thank you so much. And make sure to tune in tomorrow at 7 a.m. Pacific time for Reverse with Brian Chambers from Frankfurt to talk a little bit more about what was shown today.
Can't wait.
I love the fact you were trying to say they're trying to stay away from asymmetrical ships, whereas I rested it as asymmetric ships for some reason.
Yeah. So until then, we'll see you
around the verse.
Oh, Forrest, you're the best. Oh, shit. Was there anything else cool in the newsletter? Let's have a quick look at this video again. I don't think the avocado access begins until tomorrow, as far as the stuff people are suggesting. I don't know. Obviously, when I get the avocado stuff, I can't talk about it. I will only be able to talk about stuff that I'm allowed to talk about, stuff that's public knowledge or CIG have openly released and talked about. So, and that will be the same for a lot of content creators, so just be aware of that. Like Twerk and people, they can't talk about it. They really can't. NDA indeed, Zeus. NDA. Wow, please, I need 300 subs. Get out of here! Get out of here, you little beggar! Get out! Bloody YouTube, people coming around, trying to get subs. This guy's helmet just spawned on. That's how angry he was. He just took a fucking lung full of space. These capital ships actually an engine look fucking amazing. So I'm going to get sweary, I do apologise. Ah, thanks, Zeus. That's a good point. So we have that redacted monthly giveaway. For some reason. Oh no! Oh god! No! So we got this. Oh, apparently I've entered into it as well. Oh dear. I will re-roll it if I win it. Let's drop that now. So this is a giveaway that we're planning to do each month, where we give away a ship package. All you got to do is visit a website, do a tweet, whatever, get more entries based on what you do. It's just to help promote all of the Star Citizen guys that are redacted. That's the idea from that. Only 3 days left. Even if you just visit the redacted page, at least you have a chance of winning. Right, let's go back to that video because I like it. Bam. See my secret. I enter my own competitions, mate. So rigged. No, it's not rigged. It's not rigged. And this week's winner is BoredGamer. Well, thanks. Entering main giveaway. I'm gonna make sure it works. Okay. Oh god. Gotta enter all the giveaways, even your own. Yeah, Gleam.io. Well, I didn't really discuss the Misc Racer other than we know there's probably going to be a Misc Racer. Ogre 1977, that should run Star Citizen perfectly. Obviously, you need to change the graphics card, but that Quadro won't work. Or it might. But getting a 1060 or the bottom end of the scale, a RX 460, 470 or a 1050. Can rock out for this. I have an uptime command. We'll sort that shit out at some point. We need to get the stream sorted. Pedro is amazing. Is this Pedro or is this Jeff Sonali? Does anyone know if that was Pedro or if that was Jeff? It might not be linked to my Twitch, that Gleam thing, because we're promoting different people's, not just me all the time. And lots of people are redacted. So redacted giveaway rather than a BoredGamer giveaway, as it were. But, I mean, there was some... I mean, some of these videos are fucking cool, like the Aegis one. I mean, these are all just pretty cool, these Galactic Tour videos in general.
It should surprise
that was
absolutely no one that the Navy has a big presence here at the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. Not only are there secretive, behind-closed-door talks to be had with the ship manufacturers, the IAE is a prime opportunity for recruitment. For many ship enthusiasts, the only way they'll ever get to fly the incredibly fast and powerful machines on display here is to sign up and serve. Going a long way on that front is the presence of the reckless Squadron 999 and their stunning flight acrobatics. Nothing prepared me for how much I wanted to climb into a Sabre after seeing what those insanely skilled starmen could do with one. To be fair, that's pretty much true of a lot of Aegis ships. Sure, they look nice in the hangar, but it's when you see what one can do in action that your eyes get a little misty and your heart starts beating a little faster. But if you're sitting there right now saying, I don't really care for the Sabre, well, you're in luck, because Aegis makes about 1 billion other combat ships to choose from. With the speed and variety with which their ships are pumped out, you have to wonder which will run out first. Vandul to kill, or places to park. A question to ponder over until Galactic Tour returns with even more.
Yeah, as always, let's continue this before I keep on pausing it.
Intergalactic Aerospace Expo.
Pardon me. Pardon me. I'm a bit of a mess today. That's every form of function that my face could do. Tearing up a little bit as well. Good job, me. Yeah, I saw the someone did the cross section. Was it Nubify of the 80 of the cross section of the 890 jump with all the thingamajigs in. Thingamajigs, you know, the thongamies, the 85Xs. Pardon me. Oh, not feeling too well. Right, what shall we... Bless me, thank you. We obviously had the Prowler questions and answers as well. So this is $425 as a concept ship. It is like a drop ship. It's very similar to the Spirits Within ship. But it looks pretty cool. It's like an avian gorilla. It can carry 16 people total, 14 of which can jump out the sides. And it's a very stealthy dropship. It can like hover. So the Q&A's told us a couple of things. It's intended for short-range use. It can obviously be used on the ground as well. It can hover on the hulls of capital ships and remain there undetected in some situations. It's not a ship-to-ship combat ship. The Redeemer or Hoplite might be better for ship-to-ship combat. That was basically it. They won't be able to carry a Dragonfly, or if it did, it wouldn't be able to use it effectively. The Hoplite will be the loner for the Prowler, that sort of stuff. So it wasn't a huge amount. It doesn't have any docking capabilities, as it were. It does like hover onto ships and the crew EVA out. I mean, for me, I'm interested in the new Cutlass more. I think the new Cutlass is going to be a better dropship because it's only $100. And it's going to be relatively stealthy as well, the Cutlass. I mean, it's not going to be super stealth. but managing components in it, it's still going to be a relatively good APC. The side doors open now like that. I like the colours, so I'll drop that FAQ here. Now I am going to have to go relatively soon. I think my brother has just gone and claimed my Chinese that came to the door. I haven't eaten today yet because I've been a bit sick. But we will, I think we'll probably do a... should we do a Vandal Swarm while we chat? Is there anything else that people wanted to see before we move into some like Vandal Swarm? We'll just do a game of Vandal Swarm while we chat, and then we'll call it a day. My Starfarer here, which will be becoming... I'm Captain. That will be becoming a Reclaimer. That's what I'm going to convert it into. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the new cameras. The new cameras, hopefully, assuming they're powerful enough and they've got enough customization and ease of use, they're going to make content for a lot of people, as well as playing the game a lot better. So hopefully they should be going on 2.6 as well, I believe. Let's jump into some... actually, let's get a ship. Oh. Ha. 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 RX 450? I didn't even know 450 existed. 460 definitely exists. 480 exists. 470 exists. I've not seen a 450. Would you say the Starfarer has a cockpit or a bridge? I'm not sure of the definitions of either. It's a bridge, I suppose. It's the smallest thing that I would refer to as a bridge, maybe. I see what you mean, though. It's a bit of a toss-up. Yeah, I think it is a bridge. Technically, you could move around it, I suppose. Oh, what the fuck? Come here. Let us get a ship ready for some Wunderswimmer. No. This way. Are new character models and animations going to be in 2.6? Yes, there's going to be a lot more. That is for sure. And there's going to be a lot more probably with every patch from now on. I mean, the 890, don't shatter my dreams. The 890, it should be relatively good in combat. I mean, it's high tech. I mean, it's not going to be... It's not a combat ship, but it's a luxury ship. It's going to be able to defend itself. It's not a Polaris. It's not a Corvette or anything. It's not a military-based vessel, but I mean, it's not going to be totally defenseless or anything. From the original concept, it had these point defense weapons, had relatively good turret coverage. I think it would be reasonable. I'm going to be using mine as a mixture of escorting VIPs, doing similar stuff to the Genesis, maybe a bit of exploring, and there's probably a command and control ship, or a command ship, for fleet battles and stuff. What should we use here? Let's use the 350R while it's still fast. What else have we got? What else do we have? We get wrecked if we use a P-52 Merlin. Mate, the 325A is an amazing ship. I rate it very highly. Oh, my voice has gone a bit weird. Do we have... we can use badges. Let's use some badges. Let's get some badges on this bad boy. 2 badges. And a Panther. Nice. Let's do it. We don't need missiles. Just a Vandal Swarm. Then we're going to eat. Oh my god, I'm looking forward to eating. Sorry I was a bit ill today, guys. I'm not that sorry. I feel sorry that I'm ill. I feel shit. I feel sorry about that. But as I said, hopefully we're getting partnered soon. That's the dream anyway. So give me feedback on what you want on the stream. Do you want me to have people to request music? Do you want a channel currency? What do you want on the stream? what do you like the idea of? Any ideas? Anyone's more than welcome to join me in Vandal Swarm. You have to join in like 30 seconds time. I'm having problems with my contacts list. I was messing around with my Star Citizen files. That's probably why. I think the 325 is always available. But obviously, if you get it at the moment, I think it comes with 4 years insurance, which is cool. And I think the 890 might be a relatively good exploring ship. I think you could use a lot of ships for exploring. I think it's going to have some form of modularity. We'll have to wait and see. And I mean, for me, it's just I would like to film a lot of stuff on that 890 jump. I think it's going to be a cool backdrop for filming. Don't think that is getting officially placed. So a lot of the variants and other ships that we've seen will be getting placed in the patches, not randomly, but when they're done. So a lot of stuff wasn't shown and wasn't discovered, wasn't shown at like CitizenCon or whatever, and those ships will get done when and where they're done. So you might get to see the Orion a lot sooner than you expect. Obviously, loads of this Squadron 42 ships, they'll be put in as soon as we have Squadron 42. The Idris and Capital ships, they'll be put in the game as soon as they're able to support 2 of them fighting on a server. And with fighter support, that's what they want anyway. So those ships, the Saber Comets and the Valiant and all that sort of jazz, they are, as far as I'm aware, just skin and loadout changes. They are loadouts. They're not hull variants. They are just loadout changes for those ships. So you might as well, in my opinion, unless you're in love with the skin and in love with the loadout, just buy the base hulls if you like those ships, and rent stuff with Wreck in the meantime and get it in the verse when you're done. I want to use my 890 jump for a murder mystery. Oh my god, what a good idea, Sienna. I know exactly what you mean. It's a cool backdrop for that.
Vandal Swarm initiated. Warning, there are multiple hostiles inbound.
I'm on my MonkeyWare account, I think. Uber Monkey. That's me. Whee! So, we haven't got the joy of the Saber's broken PvP loadout. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm flying with the sensitivity for my Saber. It's weird. It feels weird. Oh, this guy's taking a pounding. Phrasing. Oh dear. Did he just commit suicide? Good job. What speed do I go to at the moment? Oh my god. 540 on boost at the moment. Wow. So that boost should be a lot higher when 2.6 is out. Because you basically, well, it looks like they're phasing cruise mode into SCM mode. So you use your boost to get up to your cruise mode. It's going to be interesting. We'll have to see how that works. People were messaging me, and other people on Reddit were going, oh my god, they're getting rid of cruise mode. That's not really what's happening. Kind of getting merged together. And obviously if that doesn't work very well, it'll change. That is the joy of Star Citizen. They show us the stuff, we react to it, and then we ask them to change. And then you pass out in your shit from going forward. Come on. Come on. Come here. Come here. No. Oh my god, I'm the worst pilot today. Hashtag worst pilot today. No! Stop shooting my no! Oh, you piece of shit. Ma. Oh no! No! Ah, god! This is surprisingly hard with this loadout. I'm blaming the loadout, guys. Just so you know. I can't take any responsibility for my own actions, okay? Yeah. You're trying to steal my kill? Get the fuck. Get out of town! Get out of here. I need a spiffy racing suit. I do. Spiffy racing suit would be cool. Might get better spacesuits. Remember AC. Oh yeah, there's going to be some cool different loadouts available for when we do get to see Thingamajig go live, 2.6 go live. I am looking forward to all the balance changes. I think that's going to make the game a lot better. Come here. Please die. I've hit you too many times. You should die. Thank you. Oh no. Oh no. So ballistic builds seem to actually be pretty good for PvE as well. I'm using this laser build. Just doesn't feel the same as obviously that saber with the 4 broadswords. I can get everywhere pretty quickly. Oh, I was hoping to steal that as I passed. Ma, you're a monster. What organisation are you part of? So I'm actually part of a few orgs, but the one I kind of run is Nomad Black, which is going to be used for lots of in-game stuff, filming, and it's with lots of my proximate friends IRL that I do roleplay and stuff with, and that mega game I was talking about earlier. BoredGamer getting rid of cruise. Yeah. We have to wait and see exactly how the cruise thing works before we can have an opinion on it, I think. Obviously, we saw Twerk do that in the 2.6 game he was playing. When, like the Herald stuff, where he was racing around the track. And he seemed to think it was pretty good, I think. So just keep that in mind. Is the Origin Racing suit available at the moment still? Maybe I should grab the suit. I do feel like a spiffy racer. I'll see you later, Lukadar. Thank you very much for broadswords. Thank you very much for joining us. Very much appreciated. Yeah, so the tarantulas, tarantulas or broadswords, the size 3s, they're pretty broken at the moment. Obviously, that we're changing in 2.6. Oh, it's not available right now. Probably grab it on the grey market. That flight suit. Don't know how much it's going to be. I am feeling pretty ill now, guys. I'll do a couple more waves, and then I'll have to call it a day. I'm very sorry. I am going to be possibly streaming 3 days a week at some point, although that's not going to affect the videos. It's not going to affect the YouTube videos. I'm going to get more of a schedule. I'm just going to get more efficient in my life. I do want your ideas for stuff for the stream, whether that's actual content for streaming, or whether that's stuff that literally overlays, or ideas, or mini games, or like Twerk has bank heists and channel currency, that sort of stuff. Thank you very much, much appreciated, mate. I will take care of me. I know that is important. I don't want to have to like take 2 days off of not creating videos because I can't use my voice or something. I've just more that I've got a headache and I feel like fucking rough. That's partially self-inflicted from drinking yesterday, but it is also because of, you know, fluiness. Fucking live in a student town. The students get ill, and then it becomes plague, and then I get it. Eventually, everyone in the fucking town gets it. Yeah, so you should be able to, with any of the starter packages, you should be able to purchase Squadron 42 at the checkout for another $15. I want to Fire Planets. The odds are you'll spend another $5 sooner or later, and then you'll get a referral. Yeah, the referral system, you've got to spend those. It's $40, is it? Before someone becomes an actual recruit on the referral scheme. Boom, mother trucker. Come here. This energy weapons just, before they get through shields, they're just crap. I suppose they damage a lot of shield. They do a lot of shield damage. You're gonna kill yourself. Wow. At least I got the forced arrow. No. Okay. But yeah, thanks for everyone joining me today. We will raid someone before we go, obviously. And as I said, I'm thinking about moving over to Twitch fully for everything. so that we can do all the giveaways and stuff on there. Everyone has an equal chance of winning. The problem with giveaways and some of the stuff I do is that focusing on multiple mediums doesn't work, or at least it's a lot more work and a lot more complicated. But I still put the VODs and stuff on the YouTubes. Check out the schedule report on robertspaceindustries.com /schedule-report. That is one of the best resources that Star Citizen has produced for us to date, possibly ever. Just because it allows us to see their internal dates, which will be updated, I believe, every Friday. What they're working on, blockers, new stuff. It's behind the wizard's curtain. It's been needed. I didn't cry or piss my pants when I almost hit that vandal. I didn't! Whoever says I am is a liar. Remember, commenting on any of our Star Citizen content on the YouTubes gets you a chance to win a ship every month, and this month it is an Avenger Titan, though I suspect there'll be a good few 85X giveaways in the future. That ship is a snub fighter, but it has a quantum drive, which is amazing. It's not going to be able to jump between systems, map jump points, but it is going to be able to do all the stuff we do in Crusader, if you see what I mean. Be able to jump between locations in a single system, which is pretty cool. It's got full-size bond weapons as well, so I was like unimpressed with that. Do you have?
Elite units eliminated.
I'm calling it a day in a minute. I'm feeling rough.
Warning.
But I am planning to stream longer as well, so I think we'll get the streams at least 3 hours long and up to 6 when we stream. I think that's probably the idea there. If people enjoy that, and people tell me about the time, I will see you later, Spot on. Thank you very much. I will get well. No worries. Much appreciated. Yeah, I think the farming on some of the ships, we need to see how the farm is going to work. Is it going to be lucrative? Is it going to be more sort of like a fun role rather than anything else? I don't know. Same with science. Science in general is it's an interesting thing because you don't want it to be boring. You want it to be in depth. Because you don't want these mechanics to be too hard when you've already got the ships for them. You just want them to be, I don't know, it needs to be a balance, doesn't there? I didn't think I was close enough to ram into that Vandal. I was obviously wrong. And let's get to let's complete wave 9. And call it a day, eh, mate? Got a bit South African. Let us see who else is actually streaming. Streaming at the moment. Anyone good? Scorpion's online. Good man. Anyone else? I quite like Scorpion. Probably host Scorpion. Unless like redacted member. Someone comes online. Oh, I'm still alive. Go me. All right. Let's read this chat a bit better. Yeah. So one of the 2 weapons. So it's got 2 wing weapons on the A5X, and then it's got a little turret underneath. With 2 size 1 weapons on it, you might be able to change that turret for a different weapon, like a size 2 weapon or something. So keep that in mind. My slaves from the Banner Merchantman have to do something. The Banner Merchantman, I think it's a beautiful ship, and I think it's only going to look more beautiful as well when they finished it. When it's coming out of its second phase concept, I hope we start seeing some more bits and bobs for it. We'll also be able to see, hopefully, a bit more of the Banu. As Jeremiah Lee said earlier, they're getting some improvements, some changes to Banu as a race, I believe. Obviously, they're all going to be tweaked and reconcepted and bits and bobs refined. So that's no surprise, really. Oh, the Aegis Reclaimer as well. Yeah, the Reclaimer. That is a sexy ship. I'm loving the idea of treasure hunting with it. Any of those industry ships excite me. But just the size of the Reclaimer. And the idea of it in general is just sort of like, it's just cool. I want to be this space treasure hunter. Oh, I was shooting bits of his ship. Come here. Oh no, Bandit T. No. Oh. Come here, little fucker. I need to kill you. Yeah, I'm the best. Woo!
0 hostile contact.
So yeah, check out. No, actually, we'll go through. We'll finish wave 9, then we'll go through the cell really briefly again. Talk about that very quickly, and then we'll host. Come here, come here, come here, mate, come here. Meow. He's gonna kill himself. Not before I kill him. Whee! Ugh. So I used to fly in Thingamajig when I was learning in 1.2 or something. A really early patch. I used to fly in third person. I was doing Vanderstorm. Yeah, so we'll talk about the $0 upgrades and stuff as well, because that's quite a good point. Obviously, okay, we'll talk about some of it now, actually. If people we've only got a few hours left of that sale, obviously. All the ships that were on sale during the anniversary are on sale again. Obviously, the cap ships are, I think they're sold out. Maybe you can still get an Idris, maybe. But you can buy an 85X and upgrade it to get lifetime insurance on one of those ships as well, so just bear that in mind. They are effectively lifetime insurance tokens, and they're only $50 to purchase each. When we say only 50, and obviously that, to some people it's quite a lot of money, so let's keep that in mind. Money is incredibly relative. Oh, no. Come here, little fucker. There are what I refer to as $0 upgrades. If you go to the upgrades page on the store, which we'll actually do it in a second. But you can purchase while ships are on sale. Upgrades to transfer to a limited hull. So, like, for example, you could get a upgrade from a Carrack to a Reclaimer for free. So just bear that in mind. Obviously, you can do that with other ships that are not limited to ships that are limited, allowing you to eventually get them in the future. I think is the idea. Let us jump out of Vandal Swarm. We did wave 9. Nice and easy. Yeah, you bought 3 85Xs for future upgrades. That's a smart idea, assuming that you want to do that sort of thing in game. So this is a schedule report I'm on at the moment. Check that out, guys, please. Check that out weekly on Fridays. Gives you updates of when we can expect to see release dates. At the moment, 2.6 release date is aimed at the 8th of December, and with the Evocati patch hopefully going live tomorrow, is the hope. I'd expect that to be true. But if you go into the store ship upgrades, when it loads, you can basically choose one of your ships to upgrade to another ship. Now, you don't have to. You can uncheck my ships and you can choose from upgrading from any ship to another ship. And you can buy, during sales, any of the upgrades of most of the ships available. Sometimes they don't do them for some reason. So you could upgrade your cargo Argo, whatever. But $0 upgrades are when you get something like, that's actually quite a good example, $250 ships or a Vanguard of some description. So if you get a Vanguard Warden, we could then get an upgrade from a Vanguard Warden to a Merchantman, which would cost 0. And then if we ever wanted to buy a Warden, which are more frequently available, more easily available, then we could always upgrade it to a Merchantman in the future. So a lot of people buy huge amounts of these $0 upgrades to accounts, and then they also have that they would also buy a Merchantman to Vanguard Warden, so they could switch it back if they wanted. So there's lots of people changing around like that. Now, obviously, CIG don't want everyone to do that constantly, but I mean, I thought I might as well tell you because you might want to do it. I mean, some people are doing it and they're not stopping it, then you might as well do it. And making the most of your money is a good thing for me. But anyway, guys, that's kind of it. I will link these pictures of these from the Big Guns video because they were cool, and I will probably be using one of them for a desktop image because they're cool. Backgrounds are just they're beautiful ships. Let us go and host someone on the Twitches. Let's double check, see who's online. Let's go to Scorpion. Hopefully he's not bad mouthing. He's like, fuck that board game. He looks like a fucking egg. Maybe he's saying that. He might be saying that.
US
when you go here, guys, when you go to this guy's channel, just say, shave your head, and then you can be a pro egg streamer like BoredGamer or something like that. Don't be offensive. You be offensive to me. That's fine. This guy's cool. I quite like him. He's a nice guy. He's just started streaming, and he's a good chap. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me, guys. It's very much appreciated. I am going to start streaming longer. I'm probably going to start streaming 3 days a week rather than 2. So that in mind, we're going to be going on Tuesday, starting on Tuesday again. Streaming might start a little bit later and go on longer.
Yeah, so right now there's
people seem to enjoy that. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining me. You take care. Check out all my Star Citizen stuff on the YouTubes. You're the best. Love your faces.
When I'm done, yeah, we'll raid somebody.
No, you're getting a raid, mate. You're getting a raid.
Real quick
Deal with that. Deal with that. It's fucking bam.
And hey, BCQBR, how are you? Or are you raiding me? Or we're raiding somebody else?
You're getting fucking raided, mate. Love you guys.
I love.